Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Atira binti Zulkifli. I and my group member will present about issue related to environmental degradation and the step on how this issue to be resolved by implementing a policy. The first step to implementing a policy is by identification the issue. The issue of marine pollution toxin was selected to identify the factors, impact, and effectiveness of marine pollution management strategies. The ocean is home to thousands of species of living things and also serves as a useful natural resource for humans. However, the occurrence of marine pollution is due to human activities. Marine pollution is the result that occurs after the introduction of the external physical, chemical, or biological agent into this ecosystem. As a result of this pollution, the natural characteristics of ecosystem decline and affect the quality of life of all beings. In Malaysia, toxic waste is defined as waste listed in the first schedule of the Environmental Quality Schedule Waste Regulation 1989. In general, toxic waste can be defined as a waste in solid, liquid, or gas form other than radioactive waste and infectious waste that exhibits toxic characteristics that endanger human health and the environment. The second step is policy analysis. The condition of the sea that accumulate various types of toxin has led to the occurrence of marine pollution. Thus, the issue of marine pollution toxin was selected. The marine pollution factors are caused by sewage disposal, nuclear waste, thermal pollution, plastic, and oil spill. However, toxic chemicals from industry are seen to have a harsh effect on the issue of marine pollution. Therefore, recommendation and effort to reduce the effect of marine pollution as a result of the release of toxic substances need to be implemented effectively. Among the effort to reduce the effect of marine pollution due to toxin is that strict enforcement must be taken to protect the environment. The enforcement process will be taken by Department of Environment under the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change. If there are responsible parties involved in activities that can contribute to pollution, the environmental protection laws that can be used are the Environmental Quality Act of 1974. Overall, toxic waste management is very important in identifying a complete and accurate definition, classification, and list of toxic waste. This is to ensure that no toxic waste is exempt from the enforcement of regulation or laws. The toxic waste generated should be managed treated in a proper and steady manner so that its adverse effect can be avoided.
My name is Rabena binti Jalil and my metric number is S54361. Okay, now I will explain about the third step in the policy development, which is consultation. Okay, what is consultation? Consultation is where the sponsor of a new or revised policy or procedure will be involved in the process of policy development after the second step, which is policy analysis, is carried out. It allows acquiring the perspective of important stakeholders on the policy document that will be drafted. The importance of effective consultation in the policy formulation process cannot be overstated. For all parties involved, it should be true, real, and meaningful. Consultation in policy development is important to allow the policy development to gather relevant feedback from stakeholders at all phases of the policy creation process. Consultation process in policy development will assist we in making educated decision about the content of our policy, gathering advice from people with different expertise and background, and testing the waters with stakeholders. A successful change management process also include in consultation step. It increase stakeholder knowledge and awareness, and it enable you to find champions who can assist with the implementation and enhancement of your policy. The consultation in policy development has several steps to follow, which is distribution of proposal paper related to the issue, and the second one is to ensure that the proposal paper gets feedback from the relevant parties. Distribution of proposal paper related to the issue is the first step in consultation, is must to be followed during the consultation process, which is according to the issue of marine pollution caused by toxin residue, we wish to discuss, we will discuss the relevant issue further with the relevant parties such as agency, organization, and other relevant party for effort in reducing the source of toxin pollution into the marine caused by human activity. The consultation is carried out after the drafting of the basic document of the main discussion is carried out. We will distribute the discussion paper on the relevant issue. This discussion is conducted so that the parties concerned can understand and know what exactly the purpose and what the importance of the formulation of this policy is met. The following is included in the purpose for which this policy is created. First, to increase the use of toxin residue in agriculture system in Malaysia. The second one is to increase awareness of the dangers of using substance containing toxin residue, and the last one is to creating awareness on the importance of caring for aquatic resources. The second step on consultation that must be followed is ensure that the proposal paper gets feedback from the relevant parties. Confirmation of feedback from the parties to be consulted should get as much feedback as possible for the approval of the policy to be implemented. The feedback from the negotiating team should be stimulating to further review the new policy. This discussion can be made further by holding meetings, forum or workshop and others to discuss issues that relate to the policy development. After the discussion, the draft policy should be extended to the community, organization and stakeholder. At the same time, stakeholders should play a role in conveying the meeting, defining the language of the actual purpose of the new policy on the issue to discuss to the parties involved. After all the process of policy consultation was done, the policy development can be proceed to the next step, which is coordination process. Now we are going to the fourth step in policy development, which is coordination. Coordination is a process that needs to be redacted or that should be present in each management process as well as in the course of new policy coordinators. This process can be done after running the previous step of the negotiating process. After discussing the issue and purpose and benefit of the new policy in relation to the issue of the discharge of toxin into the sea and having assured stakeholder and the public, process coordinating should be done. Monitoring of this new policy should be carried out to prevent the occurrence of bad things that could affect the process of making this new policy. This will help facilitate the process of new policy making due to availability of process coordinating. The parties should do their job as best they can for the successful establishment of this new policy.
So my name is Julie Desiraulis and I'll be presenting step 6, which is decision. Advances in waste treatment have kept up with increases in waste volume, and this trend is anticipated to continue. Some persistent harmful pollutants such as DDT and PCBs have been outlawed in the United States. So as a result, diffuse sources now contribute a greater proportion of many types of pollutants than most strictly regulated direct releases. There are few decisions that are made or could be made to reduce or minimize the toxin marine pollutions in the world today. So the first decision is to have an intelligent system to collect oil spill. An automatic device to collect oil spill from water surfaces can be dropped to the ocean from oil ship tankers or helicopters. So the technology is light, portable, and fully independent from human control. It uses nanofilters to separate oil from water, collecting the oil in containers and releasing the treated water into the ocean. So the second is to have a water treatment in oil and gas fields using a one-stop oil flotation technology. This method converts crude oil or liquid alkane in water into distributed little oil bits that rise quickly to the water surface. This process causes sludge to build on the device top, which is then removed to complete the water purification process. So the third one will be the method of eliminating oil from water that is not harmful to the environment. A new approach for cleaning oil-contaminated water surfaces have been discovered by scientists at the University of Bonn. So textile with unique surface qualities passively skim the oil from the surface of the water and carry it to a floating container created for this purpose. The textile features a super hydrophobic or water-resistant surface of hair, hairs, and grits similar to the salvinia plant surface. Last but not least is to diffuse sources of pollutions. In most US coastal regions, diffuse sources of pollutions are now responsible for most serious water quality problems. Land runoff is currently the dominant source of many contaminants in both the Southern California Bight and Chesapeake Bay. So there are provisions in the Clean Water Act and Coastal Zone Management Act intended to achieve reduction in pollution of coastal waters from diffuse sources. So pollutants and nutrients in runoff are influenced by land uses, such as whether the land is forested, agricultural, industrial, or urban. So atmospheric transport is the primary mechanism for contamination of oceanic regions remote from human activities such as polar seas and the open ocean. So therefore, the majority of public-owned treatment works, or POTWs, manage both industrial and household sewage. The Clean Water Act requires the POTWs to accomplish at least secondary organic matter treatment. So the secondary treatment includes the biodegradation of organic materials in wastewater, in addition to the removal of particles or sludge and disinfection included in primary treatment. It decreases the biological oxygen demand, or BOD, of wastewater discharge substantially.
Marine pollution is a growing problem in the world today. The oceans are being flooded by the pollution, such as chemical and garbage. This kind of pollution will affect the human health and the marine environment. This pollution results in damage into the environment, health of organisms, and economic structures worldwide. Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) has implemented Marine Protection, Research and Sanctuaries Act (MPRSA) to preventing or limiting the dumping of any material that would adversely affect human health and the marine environment. PRSA plays important role in protecting and preserving ocean and coastal resources. The implementation by EPA definitely to prevent the pollutant dump to the ocean that will affect the daily life of marine aquatic. Moreover, toxic marine pollution occurs when human activities in the use of fertilizer on farm or chemical from factories that eventually carry the waste into the ocean. In this case, IMO implementing the MARPOL to covering prevention of pollution of the marine environment by ship from operational or accidental causes. The IMO conventions such as MARPOL, which is garbage from ship, and other relevant guidelines, implement the method garbage management plan for ship to manage waste and garbage on board ship. This is important for ship waste management work together to understand and comply with waste reduction, recycling, and management to prevent toxic pollution being waste into the ocean. To ensure that every policy that exists and apply can help to reduce the toxic marine pollution, this evaluation step is important to ensure that every policy can achieve its goals. The International Convention on Marine Pollution from Ships, MARPOL, has implemented preventive control measures to mitigate the toxic marine pollution. It can become good that the evaluation is necessary to confirm that the current policy or law is effective enough to prevent or eliminate a problem. As a result, the government must stay current with existing policies while also strengthening those policies in order to meet current aims for future gain.